Hello filmmakers, it's Carrie with Filmmaker Central, and if you've watched this channel for a while, you've seen this brand a few times, Sutefoto, and this is their new 100 or P100 Bi. Just got this thing in, very excited to take a look at it because I'm a big fan of the Sutefoto lights. They were kind enough to send this to me, but they haven't given me anything to actually say. They're not paying me for this, but I do get to keep the light, so that's nice, and I'm sure I'm going to like it. But they're not going to see this video before it's put out, so they have no say in what I'm going to say about it. And hopefully, and most likely, it's all going to be pretty good. So this is the first time I'm opening up this case to see what's inside. And on top, we've got the power supply, it looks like. Open that up. Okay, standard figure 8 with power supply here. Now I can tell already this length of the power cord is going to be smaller than I would like, and it's something I complain about on just about every single light that I review. Is this is just not long enough. This box is going to be hanging in midair. I just don't get it. I mean, the power cord from the brick to the light should be a minimum of 5 feet, preferably 6 or 7 feet, or even 8 feet. I don't care if this one is only a foot that plugs into the wall. I'll run a power strip to it, but I don't want a box hanging in midair. So that's one negative. And I don't have any lights that actually do that. So here's what it is. I've got a shoulder strap for the carrying case. Separate a little foam cover there. We've got the reflector dish. And yeah, this has very nice internal design here. This shape that's come out over the last couple years really helps to focus the light. You get more power out of your light that way. Very handy. Again, packing material, nothing else on that side. And on this side, wow, is this all there is to it? This seems awfully small for a 100-watt light. Wow, look at this. Very big chip on board design. Much larger than most of the units out there. This is plastic. Is what it is. You know, I'm not going to complain. They're all pretty much plastic these days, but looks pretty nice. Looks like it takes Sony NFC batteries. Is that? No, really? To reach down to a camera bag. Yes, it does. Sony NFC style batteries. Very nice. Instead of V-mount batteries or something else proprietary, you can put 2 Sony NPF style batteries on this. That is pretty sweet. The light stand holder on here, plastic. We'll have to see how well it holds up, but this thing is so light, I can't imagine that that's going to be a problem. It looks like the mount on here, standard Bowens mount, fit all your standard Bowens adapters, which I have plenty of around here, so that's good. On the back, we have our 24 volts in. We have a set, that's a push button, dim. That seems to be a push button. CCT for our color temperature. FX, obviously there's going to be some effects modes. Channel and group. Okay, well that's good. It's going to have some wireless capabilities in here. Have to see about using the app, But we wanted to get to the unboxing before we set this thing up and figure out some basics. Let's take a look at the box. All right, 2800 to 10,000 color temperature. Very nice. 6 different effects. Puts out 100 watts. 2.4G Bluetooth app. Uses the SS LED video light app, which I have for other apps or for other lights. So that's kind of cool. It's the P100 Bi, as I mentioned. It's a 1.8 inch LCD on the back for the controls. 2800K to 10,000K plus or minus 200, which is pretty good. Output max 100 watts. Can take 110 volts to 240 volts at 50 or 60 hertz. DC input at 24 volts 5 amps. Very nice, and it gives the size on here: 206 millimeters by 120 millimeters by 178 millimeters. So there we have it. So I will pull out the smaller model, we'll do some comparisons, we'll get this set up, and we'll give it a try. Can't wait. Like I said, I love the Sutefoto products, and to have something that's 100 watts versus the previous ones, it just means I don't have to run things at full power. That means usually fans are quieter. It usually means I can put it into other applications, maybe even outdoor, depending on just how bright it is. But we need to get her unpacked and put together and give it a try. All right, let's dig in to this thing a little bit more. Got my light stand here. Get this thing on here, and let's get some impressions of how this thing works. All right, there we go. Got our power. First, let's check out the Bowens mount. Let's see how well that guy works. This is such a big sensor on here, or chip on here. Much bigger than most of the ones that we see, for sure. And there we go. Of course, I was trying to do it the wrong way. Very clean. We got the, like I said, we have the spots on both sides for NPF style batteries. We'll go ahead and plug this in. On the back of the unit here, we've got a 3-position power switch. The middle says off. The top just has some kind of symbol there, and the bottom says DC. At first, you would think the top is your mains power, because it kind of looks like a power brick, and the bottom being DC, you would think would be the batteries. Well, it's not. The top one is your batteries, and that is supposed to represent a battery on here. The bottom says DC, and over here, this says DC 24. So we are going to put it in the bottom position. The light turns on, and it's pretty simple. We have our dim controls. We can go, looks like we can go 1% at a time. We can go pretty quick all the way down. Okay, not bad. If we, okay, I'm gonna have to, well, takes a little bit of getting used to with this thing. I'm going to try taking, there's plastic on the back covering the screen here. My first impression is that the screen is not very easy to see. I mean, I'm indoors, I'm in a studio, and sure, I have a light over here, but the screen is actually fairly difficult to read. I can't even see what the different things on here mean. Well, the left side controls your color temperature. We can go 2800 Kelvin to, 'Let's see how high it goes. to 10,000 Kelvin. So a nice big range. We'll get it back into the 5600 range. All right, not bad there. The dim control, again, pretty easy. I like that. So if we tap the dim once, we go into our effects modes. The buttons across the back here, you've got your color temperature, effects, channel, and group. So yes, this has wireless capabilities, so you can control multiple lights with it. The screen on here, and I'm going to be totally honest, I love Sutefoto products. I have a handful of them that I use all the time. The lights I'm using right now on me right now are Sutefoto products. I've been a big fan of their products for a long time. The screen on here is the most useless screen I've ever seen on any light. It is unreadable. I literally cannot read it sitting here in the studio. Even turning my lights away from it, so there's no glare on here at all, this screen is pretty much unreadable. There's just not enough contrast. It's a white on blue, and I can't even see what these symbols are on the top of the screen. I literally have no idea. If it wasn't for the app, and the app is good. I'll show you the app here as well. But the app is great. The app works. So I can control all the different lights in the group. If I had multiple ones, I can just apply it to one current device. I can change the intensity of the light. I can change the color temperature. I mean, these things I can do super, super fast and very, very easily with the app. I can go to the effects. I can put on a fire effect. I can up the frequency and change the intensity. I can do the things that this light does really, really easily with the app. But I have to say, if it wasn't for the app, this thing would be absolutely useless. There's no way I could use this on a regular basis with this screen. Heaven forbid you're in a bright environment. That screen is as useless as it gets. Aside from that, like I said, I love the product. Now the effects here, lightning, okay, great. Sometimes you need a lightning effect. That works great. Fire is going to be just in the bicolor mode. It's just going to be a very warm light that works. Fireworks, well, I don't see why there'd be a fireworks one because it's not an RGB light. So to me, that's kind of pointless. Faulty bulb, you know, that warehouse look, boom, I love that. Really handy sometimes. Someone's watching a TV and you want kind of that flickering glow a little bit. That works really well. Paparazzi, you want it to look like strobes going off. Let's crank the frequency up on that guy, you know. So you can do those key effects that you can do on a bicolor light. I think, like I said, fireworks, not important. But lightning and faulty bulb and TV, I think people use those a lot, as well as paparazzi. So those are really cool. We'll switch back to color temperature, and we're good to go. So the fact that it has wireless capability is fantastic. The fact that it has built-in battery capability is fantastic. Standard Bowens mount, awesome. Love that. The screen though, that's a kicker on here. So let's get into some of the features here. The LCD is a 1.8 inch, maximum of 100 watt light output, 12 channels, 6 groups, special effects modes. The color temperature range, I think I said 2300. It's 2800 to 10,000, plus or minus 200. And that's because I was looking at the screen. I couldn't tell that it was 2800. I thought it said 2300. The CRI index on here is greater than 96, so you should get very, very good color reproduction when using it. That's great. Working temperature is minus 10 to 50 degrees Celsius. I'll have the conversion here for you. It's pretty light, and it says it has a cooling fan on it. and I really can't hear it. I can hear the fans on my 300 watt lights. I cannot hear the fan on this, and I'm literally sticking my head next to it. I can barely hear something in there. Definitely not going to show up on your audio. Yeah, net weight is 1 kilogram, so pretty easy. Like I said, I do like this thing. It's a good light, but the downside here is going to be this display. If it had a better display on it, this thing would be absolutely killer. But like I said, I'm not going to complain too much because the app is absolutely awesome. So, is the display a deal breaker? And I'm going to say no, it's not, because you can use batteries, because you can do wireless groups with it, because it is a nice bright output on this thing, and the price is only $179. So, are you going to get a super bright killer screen on here for $179? No, you're not. There's going to be some compromises, and the compromise on this light is the display. So I don't want to harp on it, but it is the biggest downside of this light. But for $180, this thing is an absolute steal. The light quality is fantastic. The throw is great. This has a speckled pattern inside the reflector, so it really throws a lot of light when you have this on. It's a Bowens mount, so it works with every light modifier in here that I have. There is no umbrella mount on here, so if you're looking for an umbrella mount, it does not have one, but you know, I really don't use umbrellas anymore. It's all soft boxes and things, so not a deal breaker for me at this price point. So if you're looking to get into a good quality light and you want to step up from the cheaper lights that are going to be like 60 watts, you want something that's going to be a little bit more powerful at 100 watts, and you don't need the RGB functionality, but you do want something that's going to be portable because of the battery packs on here, the Sutefoto P100 is definitely a winner. As I said, the one key factor there, the screen, but aside from that, this thing is rock solid. I absolutely love it. It will be a definite use here in the studio for a long time for different applications. But again, you know, I just got to say it. The screen's the downside. But most of the other lights in here, I control with apps as well. I rarely am behind them because I'm sitting here by myself. I want to adjust one light. I go in, I adjust that light. So adjusting this with the app, to me, not a problem at all. And the app is actually really nice. The one thing about the app that you should know is when it starts up, it's in not English. I guess that would be Chinese or Japanese. And let me actually show you here. This is what it looks like when you first log into it and you're like, what do I do? This icon in the upper left hand corner here, just tap that and it switches it to English. So really easy to switch over to English and understand what's going on in the app. So keep that in mind if you're going to look at this one. So thanks for watching, everybody. This has been Kerry with Filmmaker Central and the Sutefoto P100 Bi. So good choice here. Check it out. I'll put all the links below. Take care, everybody. We'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.